Located alongside Crowsnest Highway is the Burmis tree, a limber pine in Burmis, Alberta. Although the tree died in the late 1970s, it has become a symbol of endurance for the people of the pass, as it's known to survive harsh conditions and is one of the longest living trees in Alberta, with this one having lived upwards of 750 years. Welcome to the Crowsnest Pass. We just arrived here today from Calgary, so if you're coming the same direction as us from the east, pretty much the first monument, so to speak, is the Burmis tree. But now we're in Hillcrest, where we just checked in to our accommodation for the next 4 nights, Adanac Adventures.
So we're gonna be staying in this lovely cabin, and we personally really like staying in cabins because it's like home. You can cook your own meals with a fully equipped kitchen. It's just like a larger space. You have a TV. In this case, we have 2 rooms because tomorrow
my parents are gonna be joining us, along with our little dog Maya. Crowsnest Pass, or the Pass as the locals call it, is a collective of 5 towns, each unique in its own way, but tied together with a strong history in coal mining, which is quite evident in all the historical sites spread out throughout the communities. Right now we're in Hillcrest at the Hillcrest Mine Disaster Memorial Park, which is home to Canada's worst mining disaster in history, which claimed the lives of 189 men way back in 1914. Another thing the Crowsnest Pass is known for is rum running. So of course with mining came miners wanting to have a nice stiff drink after work, but in 1916 Prohibition started in Alberta, and of course that created the illegal trade of alcohol and the people called the rum runners. So we're hungry right now, so why not go to the Rum Runner restaurant?
this restaurant is actually very nice. I love the decoration, but especially all the old pictures hanging on the walls, such as Emilio Picarello, the most infamous rum runner of the area.
One of the things they're famous for here at Rum Runners is their burgers. They're a half pound. One of them's a whole pound, but we're going with the Mexican burger since Carla's from Mexico. It's got jalapeno and habanero cheese and chipotle sauce, so it sounds delicious. And wash it down with their specialty Rum Runner drink.
Very good. Very, very good. Benedict eggs with croissant. I like it. What a great idea. Canada's deadliest rock slide happened at 4:10 in the morning on April 29, 1903, where 82 million tons of limestone fell in only 90 seconds, killing at least 90 people.
While yesterday we were learning about Canada's biggest mine disaster, today we're learning about Canada's deadliest landslide here at Frank Slide Interpretive Centre. So besides learning about the Frank Slide, you can also learn a lot about the mining history in general and the other tragedies that happened in the area. And one cool little fact is this little bird, Tweety, a canary, that the miners would actually bring them down with them in a little cage because they were exposed to different kinds of poisonous gases, such as carbon monoxide. So of course the bird would suffer before you would, just because of its size. So if it fell off its perch, that would mean that there's some gases in the air that are dangerous, and the miners would then leave. But then they would revive little Tweety with oxygen.
The visit to the Interpretive Center was totally worth it. It just makes everything way more interesting when you know more about the history and all the facts and the different stories. It really makes more sense visiting a historical site.
And then in this case, of course, this is one of the most iconic areas in Crowsnest Pass, so you definitely can't miss it and shouldn't miss it. And right out front, there's a 1.5 kilometer trail as well, which we're on right now, that actually takes you throughout the debris.
Time for the second hike of the day to the Frank Slide Lookout.
Well, we made it to the lookout point. It's really like a 5-10 minute easy walk, and it is beautiful, but it's not quite as high as I imagined. So I think there's another point a friend told me about that hopefully we'll find another time, but right now we don't have the time, because even though we're standing at pretty much the base of Frank Slide right now, we're gonna do the unthinkable. No, I'm just kidding, but we're gonna hike up to the top of Turtle Mountain right now.
It doesn't seem that a lot of people do this hike because there's a lot of vegetation on the trail. You can still see the trail. Oh yeah, not too much traffic here. So we're just playing some music. So I always get nervous of bears, you know, especially when there's so much vegetation. But I just hope that we are on the right way. I must say that the trails are not very well marked. Now we're hoping that we're still going on the same way because there's a bunch of trees in the way.
Pretty much just walking through cobwebs.
Yeah.
Spider webs.
And there's no one on the trail, so we'll see. So guess what? We took the wrong trail as always. So you're not supposed to take the biking trail. You're supposed to take another small trail that was on the left. So we've been hiking for nothing already for an hour.
Now we have an hour back, but yeah, it's definitely not marked very good. So you gotta really know where you're going.
After getting lost for 2 hours, we're back to the parking lot.
Yeah, and it was a kind of an uneventful hike. Pretty, yeah, almost nothing to see there except forest. But now someone pointed us in the right direction. It's to the left of the parking lot. We even see some yellow poles to guide you up the first way. So, should we do it again?
Yeah, let's try. Well, this starts making sense. Everyone told us about the steep first part. So I think we're on the right way.
Hurry up, slowpoke.
Definitely, most of the trail is uphill. The first part is the steepest. But I guess the worst part is that you're out in the sun the whole time. So bring a lot of water, and maybe some walking poles are helpful. It seems that we're almost there. We're hoping that this means 1 minute, 0 hours.
I hope so, but it might mean 1 mile.
I don't know if I can keep going because I'm just so tired already, and the sun is super strong. So we're just going to wander around a little bit to see if we can get like a better viewpoint instead of going that last stretch, because I'm just too tired, and going down is not gonna be easy either. Oh my god, I can't believe that we finally made it. It took longer than what we thought, and besides we got lost. It's very impressive, the view, right Matt?
Yeah, it's very, very impressive. A little nerve-wracking because obviously this was a rock slide.
So,
but
sometimes you wonder if this part of the mountain can also slide.
I'd give a solid 2.5 hours to get to the first summit. Well, we thought we made it to the top before, but actually it was just another 5 minutes up. Oh, and now perhaps the one of the hardest parts is going down. So
after 7 hours hiking 5 on the right trail too because we got lost. We're back to the car.
As you can probably see, it's dark, so we just spent the last like 30 to 60 minutes scrambling down a mountain with no light other than the
Phone.
on the phone. Without that, we would have been in some pretty major trouble actually.
Yeah.
But man, what a poorly marked hike.
Yes.
That's all I can say is like even the people that we met before us, they got lost as well. So just something to keep in mind if you do it, but
And it's a difficult hike. Like maybe we don't hike it that much, but I don't think that we're in such bad shape. And it's hard because it's all uphill
and the whole way down is pretty sketchy and like loose, so you're gonna be taking your time.
so bring poles. But that's it now. We're happy that we're in the car and now we're gonna head back to the cabin. Say hello to Matthew's parents that they've been waiting for us
For
4 hours
a
already.
couple hours at least, yeah.
And have supper. So see you tomorrow. Good morning, we're back in Blairmore, but this time Matthew's parents are with us, Kathy and Gary.
Yeah, and last night was a pretty hard day for us with that hike, but at least there's a cherry on top, breakfast.
We needed a coffee so bad. We're still so tired from yesterday.
Well, once again, we're trying a new breakfast today. This time we're having a breakfast crepe. Yesterday we learned all about the mining in the area as well as the rock slide. We even climbed at the top of Turtle Mountain, but today we're going inside a mountain as we're going to be going 300 meters into the Bellevue mine.
While we're waiting for our tour to start, we are actually looking at different artifacts as well as old pictures from the mining times. And here is the actual cage of the Tweety that Matthew mentioned yesterday at the Frank Interpretive Center. Let me see. Oh, you look like a miner. Thank you. So we're all set to go into the mine, and we're actually wearing a jacket because it's always 0 degrees inside, no matter the time of the year. So I just want to be nice and warm. You can feel the cold already.
So welcome to the Bellevue Underground Mine. Our mine opened in 1903 and it shut down in 1961. So in 58 years that we spent mining coal, we managed to take out 13.5 million tons of it. But they estimate that there's still upwards to 70 million tons of coal that is still left inside of our mine today.
Oh, it's so nice to be out. It was so cold in there. I cannot believe that they work in underwear.
Well, we couldn't make it to the ice cream shop from underground, but we made sure to visit once we got above. It's right around the corner. We were told we shouldn't miss it. It's delicious. There's lots of different flavors. I have root beer float, coffee macchiato, and Belgian hazelnut. So now we're just gonna enjoy the ice cream as we walk the main street of Bellevue.
It's actually kind of cool that in different buildings there's actually old pictures and history facts about the town. Like this cafe, where an infamous shootout happened in the 1920s.
That was pretty bad. So
That was a practice shot.
we're gonna let her do it one more time. All right, this is part 2 for Carla. Her goal, hitting the ball. We actually just picked up Carla's ball because there's people behind us, so we're trying to speed it up. There you go. All right, well, we've golfed almost 9 holes, but I think we're gonna call it quits. Everyone's starting to catch up to us. It's a busy day here, so a little too much pressure.
But I guess we're just gonna keep driving because the golf course is very pretty, so we're just gonna check it out.
One thing we've noticed here in Crowsnest Pass is it's full of history. Everywhere we go, we see historical buildings and signs talking about the different history in the area and what you're looking at. Now we're at the Crowsnest Museum here in Coleman, which is the only town in the area that's been designated a National Historic Site due to its representation as a Rocky Mountain coal mining town. Everywhere you look, this whole street, pretty much every building is a historical building. So now we're gonna go inside and learn all about it. So guess what? Right when we entered the museum, this is the first time we've seen these pamphlets. So actually there's so much history spread out over these 5 towns that I'd recommend coming here first, because not only will you learn through the museum, but you can grab yourself a map and all these pamphlets, which are all about doing a walking tour in each of the towns.
This scale still works. So it says that I just need to step on the scale, insert the quarter, press the button.
Ooh.
Holy, this scale is not working. I don't weigh 140 pounds.
Yeah, let's see if it's actually wrong like Carla said. I do have a camera, so I'm estimating it should say like 161 pounds. Am I gonna hit this? No. 175. I don't think so.
Phew, I'm not 140 then.
See the cougar up there? That's the main thing I was worried about when we were lost hiking the other day. That and the bears. Well, we just finished up at the Crowsnest Museum where we were learning all about the lifestyle back in the day, the coal mining industry, and of course the infamous rum running days. And one of the big stories here was the murder of one of the constables by the rum runners that happened right in front of the police barracks. So what they've done right down the street is the actual police barracks where it all happened. It's now a museum, and we're here to learn all about it.
I can see why prohibition existed. Here it's saying that back in 1914, 90% of the cases in court were related to alcohol, as it often led to violence, misery, and death.
So in the end, both Emilio and Florence were hung for the murder of Constable Lawson, and it seems like, that they were guilty of it, but right up until their death, they pleaded their innocence. And now there was some stories that maybe there was a third shooter, so it's kind of sad to know that maybe they didn't do it. Well, today's our last day in the Crowsnest Pass. We're checking out of our cabin right now, but we're still going to do some paddle boarding at Chinook Lake, but of course not before we grab breakfast at the Cinnamon Bear Cafe. We just came to this place because we heard how good the cinnamon buns are, and there's actually a big lineup, so there must be. Unfortunately, we can't sit inside due to COVID, but at least we found this little table.
They're messy, but they're good. The mocha is also very good.
We just arrived at Chinook Lake, which is only about 15 minutes from Coleman. My goal was to go paddle boarding. I brought it, but it looks like I forgot the life jacket. So you're not allowed to do that in Canada. So instead, for now, we're gonna do the hike around the lake. It's a pretty popular hike. It only takes about 30 minutes.
This is a nice lake.
Yeah, it's really pretty. You got the mountain views and a really, really nice, easy walk around the lake. Even if you're not on the water, it's worth coming.
And the water looks so clear and inviting. sadly, this is the last stop of this trip.
But as you can see, we loved our time in Crowsnest Pass, and for sure if you like historical sites, outdoor adventure, small towns and things like that, then definitely add Crowsnest Pass to your bucket list. And of course, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. And for written travel guides on Crowsnest Pass, as well as other destinations across Canada, visit our website at mustdocanada.com.
Maya! This is also why we wanted to spend more time in the cabin, so we can spend more time with Maya. Our doggy. Oh, feel like an old woman, my